My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slice and Dice, where we're going to be playing the Blursed mode, which is the same as the Cursed mode. Cursed mode being infinite play until you lose. Start with a curse, gain a curse after each boss, and a blessing after each loop. However, instead of starting with a curse, we are going to start with 2 blessings. So ultimately what this is going to give us the ability to do is survive longer. Let's do it. Choose 2 blessings. Turn 3 heal. At the start of the 3rd turn, heal and shield 3 to all allies. Damn, on the 3rd turn, that can be pretty good. Shiny, +2 to item quality. Oh, that seems valuable. There's also shrink. All tiny enemies such as the archer get -2 max HP. There's 1 extra reroll, add cruel to burst. 2 times damage to targets on lower than half HP. I'm going to take shiny, definitely. I also think I should probably just take the 1 reroll. You have Cultist, Acolyte, Alloy, as we unlocked in the last episode. So one of the low-level grey classes here that has a lot of different kinds of tools. Ruffian and Scoundrel. I almost want to go for a random tier 4 blessing. Yeah, because I tend to want to kill faster than turn 3. Like, this is ultimately going to be very, very useful. But I want to be faster than that. Let's do the random tier 4. Random tier 4, middle shield. All heroes have self-shield on their middle side. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that could be neat. Okay, we get to reflect some decent damage here to the Wisp as well as the Rat. I'm gonna... should I? Yeah, I'm gonna push the roll again. Hopefully the cultists get something slightly better. Nope, they get the exact same thing. I will settle for the exact same thing, though. 2 damage dealt by the alloy here. If I... Yeah, there's no reason to go cut earlier or later here. Both ways, it's just effectively going to deal 1 damage. I think what I'm actually going to do is try and do some early damage against the Wisp there. And we should just be able to brush them both aside instantly. Ooh, the self-shielding on the pain side there for the cultist. Love to see it. And we'll even keep the Ruffian alive through an attack for the total of 5. Warden and Priestess. Okay, Warden shielding and a target for 3 as well as themselves for 3 is dramatic in impact right now. But it's effectively the same as the Priestess using a Vitality and Self-Shield version. I think on aggregate I would prefer the Priestess here, especially given the ability that they can keep the Ruffian alive through their own pain attack. I want to get some items. I got +2 to the item quality. That is not necessarily taking any effect yet. I cannot wait for it to do so. Not very good at targeting that thorn, unfortunately, right now. Although I can take out everything except for it, I make the Knoll vulnerable. And then just need to keep targets alive on the board. Because we use a burst and a single hit to take out the Knoll. And it's just the thorn. They'll run. Scalpel. Oh, if we haven't already upgraded the red hero. Also on dual damage sides, there's also the Droopy Hat for +2 max HP as well as +2 stored mana. Love it. That's the ability for the Ruffian to cast a 5 damage pain on the first turn without having to be healed or defended first. Oh, baby, maximum pain turn. You'll love to see it. A single cut hitting that top line is also really good for us. Let's have a look at what we can get done here. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter which order I do that in. Yeah, it's always going to end up like this. Okay, so a single cut takes out the archer on the top line, then a burst and the Ruffian's attack takes out the wolf, and the goblin flees in response. Interesting. We have Jester and Whirl here. Whirl offering us more access to AoE, multiple different cleave sides, as well as 1 damage to all enemies just in general. Versus the Jester, who has the ability to give us Flick, 1 damage engage cooldown, so 1 mana for 2 damage at the start of each turn. Pretty good for starting to work targets down. They are very, very feast or famine, the Jester here. You really want to get the 3 mana space, and you tend to push past every other availability. The Jester would be gaining 1 self shield on cantrip from the gain 1 reroll cantrip there, but I think the Whirl doing 3 damage and 3 self shield is good enough. We'll take it instead. Give the Cultist the extra max HP just in case it needs to get us a large amount of mana over the course of this fight. This fight will take a little bit of time. Oh man, I will happily take all of these defensive options. Scoundrel, will you roll? Yeah, just anything would have been nice. I know Scoundrel has 4 spaces that aren't doing anything whatsoever, but please. You have 2 spaces that do. Focus on them. So I can take out the wolf on the top line if I really wanted to this turn, but I think I'm probably just best served by using Cut because it's on cooldown and more mana efficient than any of the other things that I can do. And otherwise focusing my damage on the alpha. Let's continue pushing here. Yikes. And again. Okay, we got a self-shield, we got some AoE, we got some nice stuff here. So 2 different AoE strikes will then set up a very easy cut kill to take out the top line. I don't think this is enough to make them run away. Oh no, it totally was. Level 5 out of infinite. Smelly Manure. Add decay and growth to all sides. Decayed wall of the middle sides and growth to the top and the bottom. Troll's Nose. Regenerate 1 health at the end of each turn. There's also a random tier 4 item. Regenerating 1 health at the end of each turn for the cultist is pretty sick. Oh, it's pretty good. But I might need more than good. I'm going to take a random tier 4. Keep unused shields. Ooh. Could be interesting. Extra monster, a bandit for a Titan's Bane potion, adds Dispel and Drink, +1 to the middle side. Having a Titan's Bane potion just in our back pocket would be really neat here. Oh, I really want to try and do it. Let's do it. I'm not going to be able to use it in this fight, unfortunately. Choose a curse. Ah, of course, right. We defeated a boss. We have to choose a curse. Shield response. On first damage for each enemy monster, after taking damage for the first time each turn, rather shield 1, self-shield 1. Eye Martyr must be equipped, adds death and +1 to the 2 left sides, so if you use them, you will die. Or a random tier 1 curse. Honestly, both of these seem pretty tough. I'm going to take a random tier 1. Boss Bones. During each boss levels, add a bones to each fight. That's great. Love it. We're going to have some excessive shields on targets like the Whirl here, certainly, as a result of the 3 pips on their self-shielding side. Ooh, it's going to be difficult to target that Quartz in the right way to overkill it here, but I think I actually might already have the ability. So, get it vulnerable. And then I need to do an instance of 1 damage, right? Vulnerability, and then 1 damage, and then an instance of 2 damage, and then an instance of 3 damage. So I think I actually already have that. Vulnerability, instance of 1 damage, then a burst is instance of 2 damage, and then the Whirl for the overkill. That'll also just make both of the bandits flee. Cleric and Myco. I always do feel like I need to choose the Mycologist more. Like, there's almost certainly something locked behind choosing the Mycologist just a couple more times. Like, look at this. Look at this. Ugh. Well, actually, that's another tier 2 character. Okay, Pair of Kings pick. Picking the Pair of Kings unlocks that hero. Why? There's so many that are just not encountered yet at all. Artificer pick? I need to pick the Artificer 1 more time in order to unlock another character. Collector pick? I need to pick the Collector 1 more time. Okay. Well, I mean, At least I now know I don't need to pick the mycologist here, and I will be immediately abiding by that by taking the cleric instead. Yeah. Let's just keep it going. Take out the slate and these illusions, hopefully. Some AoE, baby. Nice to see it. That's some AoE from our whirl. I mean, cleric? Honestly, that is kind of one of your best sides. One of your worst sides, rather. There we go. Now I get to... I can't shield and heal at the same time on the cultist. Am I going to use cut? No, I'm not going to use cut. Well, for an instance of damage against the slate, maybe I use cut. There we go. And then I'm one burst away from being able to take him out, or they could just flee. That'll work too. Demon Horn, replace the rightmost side with heal 2 boost inflict pain. Again, very difficult to... I don't see how that can perform exceptionally for us. Like, you know, it could buff heal 1 to all allies or things like that, but it feels like if I want to make something large enough by using healing and boost to increase the size of the die, inflict pain is something that I'm then it's going to narrow rather the positions in which I want to utilize this. Like, I don't want this to turn an attack that does 9 damage into 11 damage, because that just turns the attack that does 9 damage and probably kills the enemy into an attack that does 11 damage and probably kills the enemy as well as myself. So it's difficult to find the sides for which this is consistently positively impactful, in my experience. Shining Bow, however, a lot simpler at ranged wall damage sides, allowing us to hit enemies in the back row and avoid on-hit passives as well as thorns and stuff. I love that. I love the idea of taking that and just putting it on the whirl. Got that. There's a chest here on the top side, has riches, flees at the end of the turn, but it'll drop a tier 0 to tier 2 item if it's defeated. I need to kill it. Absolutely must. Cultist defending yourself as well as gaining mana here is very nice, because otherwise people are targeting you. There's 2 chests in this fight? Ugh. Oh, I really want to be able to take down both, but I'm not going to be able to because I don't have enough AoE. I mean, hang on. Whirl could roll the Whirl rolls the AoE side. Okay. Well. Cleric, that's the only side I didn't want you to get. Thankfully, I don't think it matters. Well, big AoE, chest. We can now hit you with... Actually, we can hit you with cut to take you out. And then I'm gonna be just short of being able to take out the chest in the bottom line as well. Rough. Literally, I'm 1 mana short of being able to do it. Otherwise, I could just burst. Boy. That's an absolute shame. That's why I wanted one of the reasons, I didn't perfectly count it, but it's one of the reasons that I wanted the cleric to continue pushing for more resources. Priestess, I would still like mana from you right now. More immediate our impact on board can be, more immediate it should be. So unfortunately, the War Chief is currently giving +1 to everyone else on the board. But I also don't really want to target the War Chief first, if possible. So let's just have a look at like a default example of a turn here. So double burst on that bones, setting up for the whirl, killing the next bones, and then I could even, if I wanted to, finish off the goblin. In doing so, yeah, you would actually have to full defend yourself anyway. In doing so, I could also set up for just killing the War Chief next round. I like that. really constrains what I have to accomplish next round to be very, very doable. One and two, and defend, and keep them alive. Use the cut on that line, and you know what? I'm just going to simplify it even further. 3 health left on the War Chief. Your turn. Random reward, Sapphire Skull, upon death +2 mana. Dang. Not particularly impactful there. We also get the Gambler and the Evoker as our upgrades here. Gambler, the upgrade for our Scoundrel, is still not particularly likely to hit the enemy. The Evoker with the 4 damage to the topmost enemy, that is a very, very powerful ability. I do like having that. We'd have less access to mana itself, though. Do any of our items drive us in one direction over the other right now? Not really. I'm just going to take Evoker because I really like having access to the 4 damage here. It's quite good when I'm going to be taking out the bones on the top line at the very start of each of the boss fights, as well as for just pumping good damage in against the bosses. It's just hard to look at it and turn it down, really. All right. Cleric, that's your best side. Priestess, do you... Honestly, Priestess, you may need the max HP in order to survive through this turn with the focus of Githa and Magrat both on you. AoE from the Whirl's pretty good. I'm going to take that and lock it. Ugh. AoE heal is the only bad thing we could hit on the Priestess there, unfortunately. Gosh, so I can keep the Priestess alive, but it is sending a burst directly her direction, just doing 3 damage and 1 mana gain this turn. That's so abysmal. The enemies are even going to summon a wolf this round. The Scoundrel not contributing almost anything to almost any fight here is... very huge problem. A gigantic, massive, impossible to overstate problem. Let's start off with sending a drop against the top line here. We will have a couple of ways we can try and go through this turn. I mean, there's a version of this turn where we try and use Flash twice to stay alive. I hope that isn't the one we have to go for. Drop takes out the top line. Then... Priestess keeping the Scoundrel as well as herself alive, and then Cleric keeps the Evoker and themselves alive. I'm gonna do the second AoE strike there against the top 3 targets, setting up the Wolf and then Agnes and Githa each on 4 HP. So mana generation is a good strategy for just trying to kill them all with drop. One of the most resource efficient kills I have access to. Nice. Okay. Let's start off with the mana and drop. Ooh, hang on. Gonna need to try and keep the Scoundrel alive through the drop. So... drop, and then murder Agnes. Unfortunately, then we keep Gith on the board. Honestly, we could just remove Githa instead. Make sure that no one's weakened in the next round. Probably far better off that way. Yeah, sure, Agnes gets another wolf out on the board, but Agnes is also one of the easiest of the witches here to deal with. She just has AoE and summon wolf, and all of them are 1-pip. Very simple. A little bit of mana, love to see it. Okay, we managed to get all the way back up to... Hang on. All the way back up to 4, so we can take out a wolf. Ugh, we lose Whirl. Okay, losing Whirl here. They keep unused shields. I mean, we're definitely winning the fight at this rate. It's just, do I have a way I can do this without having to worry about either of them? And, you know, that's... I guess the Flash doesn't even manage to do it. Okay, yeah, let's lose Whirl. I think that's the right choice here. So... Wait, actually, no, we'll lose the Cleric, obviously. I didn't need to keep a little bit more damage on board more than I need to keep self-heal at the moment. I don't know how I defined that only the Whirl could die in that instance, but glad I found my way out of it quite quickly there. Okay, heal everyone. Damage. Wait, hang on. Okay, that didn't work out how I thought that was going to. You should still heal everyone though, right? Because otherwise, McGrath does 2 damage to the bottommost. No, okay, we're fine. This will do. 1 burst, 2 burst. Glyph of Purity and the Glowing Egg. Oh, I do love a glowing egg. Glyph of Purity. Add cleanse to the top and bottom sides. Unfortunately, the cleric, who would usually be the person to hold this, is not ideal for it at the moment. A single cleanse... not hugely impactful, although again we would have the ability to curate our upgrade of the grey or the red hero based around the fact that we have the Glyph of Purity, so it's not valueless. And in fact, I'm about to argue that for the sake of the glowing egg, we should consider the classes that we're going to be able to upgrade into. Although I will also say that the Whirl having the glowing egg and just upgrading 1 damage to all enemies is pretty sick. It is pretty sick and it is pretty nasty. The possibility that we then also get a character that has a cantrip in that slot, baby, that's what really sets it off for me. Death Shield. All monsters upon death shield 1 to all allies. That can get kind of messy. I could start dealing with that, but it could just be a little laborious to do so. If I can avoid it, I would like to. Must be equipped. Replace the top and bottom sides with blank. Permanent item. I don't want to accumulate many items because these curses are permanent. They will be with me through the rest of this endless run. And we will quite quickly, I have to imagine, get to the point that we're, 2 cursed items on a character. Oh no. As soon as we can't really itemize characters well, we lose the ability to gain advantage. Like, drastically. I'm going to take another random tier 1. Defeated heroes return on 3 HP next fight. I love it. Something I may not have to even pay the downside for. Incredible. Oh my god, there's the AoE. That's vulnerability. I want the Scoundrel to do something this round, so sure, do that. Cleric, that's enough. You don't need to self-shield this round, although you would be able to keep it if you did. Continue pushing everyone else. Oh my god, the mana again. Love to see it. Thank you, Priestess. Okay. Foist things foist. Let's just drop to kill the imp on the top line. Not have to worry about the fact that our Priestess would die. We can follow up with vulnerability on the quartz, as well as 1 damage in AoE and growth on that side. So it's now extremely simple to kill the quartz very early on in the next round. Basically any action in its general direction ought to take it down. Ooh, good mana. Okay. Let's go with a burst to take that target out. Then I can take out the imp myself. A drop takes out the sniper. Now it's just a single bones up against my party. You're only 1 skeleton. What are you going to do against the combined power of 5 skeletons? Spellblade and Juggler. Well, I mean, the Juggler is the opportunity to get cantrip out there if I really wanted it right now. Check. I still do. I like cantrip. Actually, usually the downside with having these damage cantrip sides in particular is that because they aren't ranged, you take a bunch of damage in response, but we can make them ranged. Let's do it. I think this is the perfect time to mess around with something like that. Sapphire's Skull for upon death gain 2 mana. Let's throw that back on the cleric with the lowest amount of HP on the party. Yuggle 'em, buddy. Ooh, the AoE on the whirl as well. Love to see it. Annoyingly, I believe, yeah, I'm exactly incapable of preventing the Wiz from doing anything this turn. I can't deal damage to them because they're in the back line. I can't even with any ranged effect because I got the shielding on the juggler. I can't hit them with drop because I haven't got enough mana. I'm just perfectly incapable of preventing them from weakening my whirl. Oh, baby. Juggler, honestly, when you roll that side, I almost want to lock it in. And all's good. Just flash and wait. Oh, hang on, the juggler literally could have killed there, but it's fine. Anvil and second chance. Interesting. I'm more on the side of Anvil, second chance being the target can use their dice again, a side added to the rightmost side of the second chance holder, and the Anvil adds steel to the middle side, so bonus equal to the hero's current shields. So for like a character like, Whirl, they would have the ability to shield, retain the self-shield from the Quicksilver, and then it just continues to increase their middle side. If someone was, for instance, cantripping, that could work for them as well. They increase the size of that cantrip the next time they roll it. Also just dramatically increases the possibility of the size of the middle die. Yeah, we'll take it, we'll take it. I think I will put it on well for the moment. Although I guess I don't need to have ranged attacks in this fight. I could do this. But I do really want the Anvil and the Quicksilver to go both on the same person with a large degree on their middle side. It's just I also want a middle side that they use commonly, so I'm kind of stuck between the two. Zombie and Banshee. The Shield and Cleanse is going to be huge here for keeping the Priestess alive. 2 mana's pretty settleable for a Evoker right there. Nah, I'm going to push one more time in the well as well. We did get back to our growth side. Honestly, 1 more mana and that's a drop, which takes out the zombie on the top side, and we are basically finished with the Banshee on the bottom side already. We got him. Baby. Let me just also give Whirl the ability to do huge damage with this steel side to finish him off. Paladin! So just a thick version of the cleric? I mean, it does look good. 3 shield, 3 heal, a shield 4 cleanse. 4 damage heavy sides, not particularly good in this fight in particular. A little bit of mana gain, although I always feel like I'm underutilizing the Doctor. I don't use them at all. That's how I'm underutilizing them. Critically, it's easy to underutilize them by not using them at all. I want to find a better way around it, but I'm gonna have to be able to counter my own poison. But how am I gonna be able to counter my own poison? Like, the cleric is gonna have a little bit of ability to do that. Am I just gonna hold open to the possibility that like one character is gonna have the right effect? You know, if I can ever afford to do it, it's in the first loop on Blursed mode. I'm taking Doctor. This is rule of fun right now. Rule of cool, rule of fun, fun percent, etc., so on and so forth. Always learning. The Doctor's big downside here is 1 damage to all heroes and monsters, poison. And then, Liquor, a 4 mana spell that heals 20 and cleanses. Kind of difficult here to reasonably manage across your entire party the ticks of poison that you are incurring without good mana generation. We're going to need a lot of mana generation, and we're not going to need to use a lot of it on drop. Maybe there are some fights we never want to use the 1 damage to all heroes and monsters, but I want to be open to it. Heal 2 regen, specifically setting up 2 regen from then on other targets, is a really good way of countering the effect of it as well, without actually having to use cleanse. Cell Shield Steel. What about this? Heal 2 mana gain Cell Shield Steel. Because this will give us the ability to heal more and gain more mana. And, in fact, we can even prepare ourselves for the possibility of it by defending the Doctor extra on previous rounds. I like that. I also kind of want the Juggler not to have the cantrip side and for the Whirl to have it instead, but I think we're going to be in this fight long enough that the cantrip side is the correct choice. And I'm just getting a little testy. Okay, we're off at a reasonable degree of AoE here. I'm going to try and push on the early turn, though. That's good enough, that's good enough, that's good enough. That's AoE. Cleric, I almost want you to get shield here for the sake of the Doctor. Well, that'll have to be good enough, I guess. Okay. If I strike there, I can take out 2 bones on the bottom line, which is also really good because I can take out the bones on the top line with drop much more easily. If I... actually, hang on. Do I have to use any of my mana to do that? No, I don't. Okay, cool. If I use Burst on the Doctor, I get extra mana back. Yeah, I get extra mana back to the degree that it doesn't cost me anything to have done that in the first place. Okay. Then do I just want to save mana right now? No, it feels like I should really save the 4 HP on the Whirl at the absolute least. By sending 1 drop out there. Oh boy, this is exactly what I wanted to see. The Doctor now gets their 7 mana gain heal side. Cleric for a little bit more shielding should someone need it. Come on, Juggler, baby! Hits the best side they possibly could have. Okay. The combination of these on the Doctor is actually ridiculous when the Doctor is not being heavy targeted here. 5 damage, single burst, drop, and there goes the Rotten. Whoa. Clay, copy the other equipped items on this hero, so we should try and be mindful of which of these can even be copied. Like, adding the keyword steal 2 times doesn't help. Keep on use shield 2 times doesn't help. I mean, I can get the second effect of the droopy hat. Adding growth 2 times doesn't work. Adding range 2 times doesn't work. I do have a lot of blank spaces that the fairy dust could fill in here on the evoker. But I can't rely on still having those later. But I can't rely on Clay comboing with anything later. I'm taking the fairy dust. Comfy. We also get the ability to have -2 max mana or a broken heart. Broken heart must be equipped, immune to healing. I'm going to take the -2 max mana. I have something to offset that right now already in the droopy hat, so I still have 3 max mana in an individual turn. So it's not going to affect us that much this loop. It's the next loop we really start having to worry about that. Cleric rolls their best side. Evoker, you are going to need some shielding this turn, so I think the self-shielding side is probably better for you right now. Let's just try the rest of this turn. Ideally, I want to try and kill the snake with 2 overkill. So let's defend the doctor, getting some extra mana. And then I can burst to set up that snake, kill it with the cantrip side for 3 damage, overkilling by 2, taking it out. And then I'll just throw out some damage with the whirl and a drop to the top line. It's going to be a lot easier to just kill the bandit first and then focus on the core. Oh. Unless we just get the gosh rolls here. Damn, baby. Look at the cantrip side all the way up to 7 there. 7, I think? 6 by the end? Artificer. Up against Assassin. I'm going to take the Artificer here for every available possible reason. Noting, of course, that it unlocks a new character for us in the Splint, who is not actually a blue character. It's a red level 1 character, Splint. All of them are single use. There's heal 5, 3 mana, 2 mana, 1 mana, and the spell is Bandage. For 2 mana, heal and shield 1, single cast per fight and cleave. Yeah, that character is very powerful. But also, they burn twice as bright and half as long. Who can take a turn off? Anyone? I guess out of these people, most, it's probably Cleric. Especially considering the Whirl is going to have to roll for AoE quite drastically, right? Oh, hang on. Speaking of AoE quite drastically right now, what about Doctor? Giving everyone the poisson. Giving anyone that French fish. Yeah, I'm down. Gonna have to try and keep the Whirl alive with a special effort here. I think we can get that done. Okay. Foist things foist. Doctor, 1 damage to everyone on the board, as well as 1 poison to everyone on the board. Thank you. Then, send some blades through the enemies. Set up all of the snakes to die. Gonna heal and shield the Whirl, getting even further away from death there. Three mana, that's charged. Honestly, I think we're done. Juggler, please don't just kill the demon. Oh wait, you are ranged. It was never gonna be a problem. Good. Whew. Thought it was risking that randomly for some second there. Let's use, oh, of course we don't have drop. But we do still kill the enemy. Silk Cape and Helm of Power. Oh. Helm of Power, no. Helm of Power would actually be a ×2 effect after the cantrip on the Juggler. That'd be pretty sick. Oh, man. Oh! Oh, it gives the growth effect to everything with the Silk Cape. Oh, I'm doing that. The entire line is... I mean, I have to lose my range, unfortunately, which means if I hit the Thorn or Basilisk, we are going to be getting negative impacts. Oh, I almost think that should actually convince me not to do this, but it's not going to manage to because it's too cool. Yep, there goes that side immediately. Cleric, that's actually a really, really good hit for you. Just gonna lose all my cantrip sides on the Juggler there. Oh, dealt a little bit of damage in the absolute least. Okay. Doctor for even more mana. You can do blades 2 times at the enemy, not particularly effective right now. Liquors heal 20 and cleanse. That's just, you know, prevent the death of the cleric, basically. But I could also do that by generating less mana in the first instance. by not defending the Doctor initially. I only get to keep 3 of it until the next round, so let's throw 2 bursts out against the Basilisk. Maybe I end up cleansing the Juggler, get back some of their spaces. They're actually good here. I'm increasingly on board with that. Well, 1 damage to each of them is kind of underwhelming at this point, though. That's some AoE defense, a little bit of regen. Happy to continue pushing again. Gosh, we've lost all of our best sides. Can bring it back. Let's see if we have the ability to keep the Cleric alive while we're doing this, though. So, Blades takes out the Basilisk on the bottom line, as well as 2 damage to the Troll on the top. I also could have just used Burst 2 times there. Would have been the exact same effect. Yep. This totally works. And now we have more of our cantrips to just throw directly at this enemy. Please die via the cantrips. That would be neat. We roll the only 2 non-growth cantrips that we have access to. Cool. It's not going to be a problem. This is all fine. I'm just choosing how to finish my meal at this point. Roulette versus Brawler. Interesting. So, Roulette has the sticky mandatory death side that we are so scared of and have been for so very long. I could even copy that side across the entire line if I wanted to. And then there's also Brawler with a steel damaging side, some rampage, some damage and self-shield. Unfortunately, the middle side being damage and self-shield on the Brawler takes a little of the effect away because it's already damage and self-shield, so it's not benefiting rather from the middle shield bonus we otherwise have. I honestly don't super want either of these. I kind of like the Juggler where they are. But I also recognize that this Juggler is going to have a lot of trouble if we go into Hexia. I'm not incredible at generating large defense on an individual character right now, but once the Cleric upgrades, I might be better at it. I'm reasonably good at setting down multiple targets to similar HP values, though. Let's take the Brawler. Them having access to the backline also is pretty good here. There any things I'm going to need to change here? I thinkn't. Lego? Style and dice right there. Okay. Cleric 3 mana. Love to see that, happy to see that, that's good. Brawler, I kind of want you to have a rampage side if possible here. I know I would be able to utilize it. There it is. Damage along with mana generation on the... Sorry, not mana generation, damage parallel to the amount of mana we have. Charge attack there. I don't know if I really want that right now. Doctor, this is your second best side. Do I really want to turn that down though? No, I'm going to take it. 2 mana, that's good enough for me. Thank you, Artificer. Okay. Wow, this all got really bad quite quickly, huh? Let's see what we can do with this turn. If I burst the bones on the top line, then Brawler can attack them, taking them out. Then the Brawler can attack the Quartz, taking them out as well. The Juggler can finish off the Quartz on the bottom line. And then we just have this base ult that we have to deal with. I can also defend the Cleric against all incoming and then attack. I mean, taking out everything relevant on the field and then getting the Cleric to a position where a Licker next turn saves them. Worth. Ooh. I really like the idea of just getting a lot of poison generation here, especially because we're going tick, tick, and tick. Brawler. I'd love you to defend yourself if you could. Wait, you don't need to defend yourself at all. Use that attack. Cleric, can you cleanse yourself before you die to that effect? No, you can't. Okay, cool. Well, that just means the Cleric's not going to be acting this round. If I continued pushing sides, would the cleric ever act this round? No. Okay, this is fine then. So, if I burst... Oh, but the cleric's gonna get poisoned and still die at the end of the round anyway. So then should I use the cleric's cleanse? Try and prevent some of the ill effects on Juggler next round? Honestly, probably a good idea. Let's do it. Okay. That also gets us 2 mana from the Sapphire Skull, which would then be enough to prevent the cleric from dying in the first place. This is all fine though, because it is in service of 1 chip damage doubles to 2, 2 chip damage doubles to 4, 3 doubles to 6. Unfortunately, I'm not able to manipulate the following side by the Brawler to be 4 damage here. But rest assured, I would have if I could have. No, those are all fine. Keep pushing. It's going to be difficult to keep the Doctor alive again this round as well. But I shouldn't just, like, sacrifice people off board. We are so close to being able to take out the Basalt this round. I guess I can keep the Doctor alive and then just kill the Basalt at the start of the next round. That'll be fine. Poseidon's Charm adds cleave to the top and the bottom sides. Brawler having cleave to the top and the bottom sides with the Rampage effect. Pretty good there. Cleave on... Oh no, but the Doctor has to lose their mana gain self-shield side. They don't need that constantly, to be honest. Mithril Shields adds cantrip to all shield / self-shield sides. Okay, that's pretty big. Cantrip to all of the ones that are in the middle regardless for every character. Could heavily depict or direct where I upgrade my 3rd character. I'm taking Mithril Shields. I don't think I've taken that often enough. Slow spells, maximum of 3 spells cast per turn. We utilize the ability to cast multiple spells per turn often, and I don't want to roll a new party and then not be able to do that. Tower. All huge enemies, such as Dragon, have +3 max HP. Fine by me. Something that we have to deal with the downside of significantly further on into the future. Makes it a lot easier. Alright, let's do this. 3 mana from the Cleric? No, the Cleric is probably going to be needing to dedicate their turn to keeping people alive, such as themselves. Heal and Shield would do it right now. Mana. Oh, now I feel like the Cleric should probably take the mana. We're getting further on in. Can't have them just get nothing. Okay, so thankfully the Juggler rolled one of their cantrip sides that now has 4 damage on it, so I can take out the zombie instantaneously on the bottom line. I can also use a burst to set up the Brawler to be able to take out the other zombie instantaneously on the bottom line. Saving the Cleric, we get regen on them to keep them alive further. And... Blades, 4 mana deal 6 damage to all enemies, distributed. Good enough for me. Ooh, the cantrips, taking them out. I mean, we don't even really need to follow that up. The cantrips themselves have got the kills. Dablist and the Twin. Do I have any combination of items that can get a lot of value out of the Twin? I mean, I can make them cantrip basically every one of their sides. That doesn't really help me. Yeah, I think not. But also, I don't really want to, you know, quote-unquote, upgrade the Juggler. I don't know, maybe 2 twins and both of them having cantrip shields is actually incredible. Have we considered that? Have we considered the possibility that this is actually sick as hell? There you go, cantrip almost shields. And I mean, making growth cantrip on yours? Probably not. I mean, 2 extra max HP as well as 2 extra stored mana is pretty cool. Brawler, sure. Get the ability to give us some mana if you want. Artificer is not too terrible a target to let die. Cool. Let's give it our best. You also get to split more targets away from the enemy. Huge importance there. Although I'm also taking more damage myself because I have AoE attacks that target my own team in the Doctor here. Brawler? Yeah. Getting prepared to have shields would probably be a good idea for you. So everyone got shields except for the person who was using a steel attack in the brawler. Love it. Brawler should attack before I use my poison AoE. It'll also prevent the on-hit response from the demon there. But I actually lose my doctor by doing that. Right, of course. Let's go slightly under that line to prevent anyone from taking that damage. That's what I was attempting to do, it's just I'd managed to wrangle it poorly in my brain. No one-hit effects for any of us, thank you. Unfortunately didn't manage to stun the Wiz. The poison hit at exactly the right time for them to get basically no ill effect. Rampage from the Brawler does seem like it's going to have a wild time here with the right setup. Alright. Brawler takes out the Bones, and then the Demon, and then the Wiz. Told ya. And then the Bones, and then the Demon. Follow up finally with an Imp. Well done, Brawler. Good kills. Ruby Shield. Add cleave to all heal/self-heal, shield, and self-shield sides. There's also huge sword. Add cleave to all damage sides. Oh, baby. Cleave to all damage sides is huge. That's incredible. But are we underlooking the utility of Ruby Shards here on the Twin? Every single time they roll, they are going to be self-shielding. Wait, self-shielding. No, not self-shielding. They will be cleaving defense in my party. I use poison and like growth strategies in order to ultimately end up killing the enemy, so I don't need this as much as I need the ability to stay alive. Let's take the Ruby Shields, pop that on the Twin. Shield 1, self-shield, cantrip, cleave, and there's 2 of them doing it at both times. The Artificer, you can take the Droopy Hat back. Pretty much everyone is fully stacked out. Gotta remember, I do have this Titan's Bane potion for when I encounter Hexia. Should I encounter Hexia? Oh, that's sick as hell. Good roll. Artificer, I would like mana from you. Everyone else push. Oh my god, Brawler. Yeah, that's going to be the right side for you, I have to imagine. Okay, so 2 instances of damage on the Hydra on the bottom line, 1 instance of damage on the Hydra on the top line, unfortunately. One, two, okay. 1, 2, 3. We're just going to start working them down by the numbers here. Thankfully, the Hydra is only actually attacking both of these twins as well as the Brawler. So they'll be nullifying a lot of stuff that we have the ability to do this turn in terms of defense, but they're not really taking away from our damage. And as long as I reroll enough times with the Juggler here, they're just going to hit the Hydra every single time. Ludus versus Sharpshot. I think I think we're in the right position to say no to both of these. Juggler is just way more powerful. Also, Dragon does not require our Titan's Bane potion here. Loop number 1. Loop accomplished. I mean, look, I'm certainly claiming that early here, yes, but I also think it's a foregone conclusion. Maybe that's a little much to consider at this point. Okay. That's the 1 damage AoE. I mean, I guess before doing that, let's get the Brawler to do a big attack. Am I okay with losing my Artificer immediately? Yeah, I mean, I can't really do too much to stop it. That doesn't even prevent me losing the other twin. Wow. Okay, losing 2 of our characters on the first turn there, not incredible. We do get some mana back for it. We do get a lot of work done on both the core and the dragon. It definitely had value. It didn't do nothing, but oh boy, could it have done more? Pop that 1 damage in AoE again. Yeah, I don't think I can continue to use this on the Doctor. I can take out the core before they attack here. I mean, I can take out the core before they attack here in a multitude of different ways. Oh, hang on. Only one way with the ranged attack there. Oops. I could keep a second target alive this turn. Honestly, keeping the Juggler alive is huge. But I have to give up on the poison. If I don't keep the Juggler alive, we are just definitely going to lose. With the Juggler alive, we theoretically have the possibility to deal enough damage through cantrips to still win. See, this is what I was worried about. As soon as I start to rely on the poison as some sort of a damage methodology for the Doctor here, I lose. Give me the steel side. We still have that on the Doctor, and they still have extra investment into that already. Push. I mean, if that regen kept the Juggler alive this turn, it would be worth it, but it doesn't. So I have to push again. Wait, how does it keep the Juggler alive? The regen offset works? Oh wow, it does. I thought the Juggler was definitely dead already. Can only get 1 mana going to the next turn. That's fine. I'm gonna do 2 damage to the enemy. And then I'm just gonna reroll with the Juggler until the enemy is dead. I'm so glad I left inevitability in my builds. Oh, we would have died without it. Level 21 out of infinite. Choose a blessing for ourselves. Potential during the 5th turn. Plus 3 to all allied sides, or on the start of the first turn plus 2 mana. Start of the first turn plus 2 mana is way better here for me, I think. This one's not going to trigger in all fights. This one will trigger in all fights. That's honestly as large as it needs to be right now. A random tier 4 blessing though? That's still always so tempting. Survival Specialist. All heroes get +1 to incoming healing. And they all have +2 empty max HP. Neat. The end. We are now weaker. All of our items disappear. Only curses remain. Will we ever escape the fate? Never. We have Scoundrel, Fighter, Alloy, Healer, and Student. Let's go. I mean, look, repetition of your side is probably one of the best things you can do. Vulnerability and then vulnerability again is also a really sick setup for just taking a target off the board. That's damage. That's enough to keep you alive. Okay. Vulnerability and then another vulnerability. The alloy defends the healer. Actually, hang on. If the ally defends the Scoundrel, then the Gnoll will die. I'm certain there's a way better way to do this. Honestly, it's probably leaving the Gnoll on the field. Going 1 instance of damage there, 1 instance of damage there, and then that's 2 vulnerabilities, so defend the healer, which is not to kill that target. Yeah, and then we leave the Gnoll on 2 HP for the next turn. Ease. Ooh, especially if you let me set up vulnerability, that'll do it. Hang on, Scoundrel, vulnerability, thank you very much, and enough mana to burst them straight to heck. Whirl again versus the Armorer. Honestly, I'm really happy with the Armorer in this instance as well, with the shield 4 side self-shielding. Huge impact, dramatic impact. Smithing someone else's self-shield side as well is a way to get a little bit more extra effect out. It double dips when it affects both mana and shield on the student right now. Shouldn't plan around that for long, but it is important right now. Obviously, AoE and vulnerability on the Scoundrel as well, but it's hard to line those up. I'm gonna take the Armorer. Give me some items. That's when it really gets going. I'm gonna take the heal on the healer here. Gotta see the fact that I think someone is gonna have to run themselves into that thorn this turn. It's gonna have to be the fighter. And then we have the ability to heal them back up quite significantly. Enough, in fact, to make the archer run away in the next turn. Faint Halo plus 1 max HP. This fight, whenever you would save a hero. And 3 of a kind. Add triple to the rightmost side, times 3 to its value if it has the same value as the 2 previously used dice this turn. I really like 3 of a kind. If we can set up 3 of a kind on Smith, and just use a 1, and then a 3 of a kind Smith on a different target, and then use it. It's so big. Huge impact on board. Let's do it. Heck, I almost want to have that side be cantrip now. And then get it duplicated to other sides. It's going to be impossible to do. There's not that many item slots in this mode. We're not in loot mode. 3 damage is pretty cool. 2 mana. Certainly cool as well. We can also see some earlier appearances of enemies like Thorns and Wisp and all of those kinds of things here. We have been reset back to the first floor, but they're still putting spicy enemies out on the field. The power level of this fight might be basically the same as a power level of, you know, the 4 rats, 1 goblin fight or whatever this is replacing. But this is just more interesting to work around. I like it. I like that design so much. I keep just ing about it every time. Just double burst target off the field here. There goes a rat. I'd also like large instances of individual damage, so the fighter upgrading for a barbarian at this point would be sick. Just short. Cantrips are also really good for setting up the triple. If I had a cantrip character that just rolled 2 cantrips in that round, both of those cantrips having 1, because most cantrips do have value 1, especially when you're a level 2 character, that would have easily already set up for the triple. I'm going to do the early burst here, just knowing the rat will run. Scrapper and Vampire. Ooh. That's interesting. So Scrapper can do a huge amount of damage, but I need to have some damage on some of the enemies first. I guess there are also these steel sides. We could affect those with the Armorer, especially on the self-shield side. I mean, it's not very broad. Vampire. 3 mana to infuse, heal 2 to all allies. Actually, heal 3 to all allies, and all allies start with opening HP as well. This is looking better. Vampire also has 2 mana to 2 damage self-heal sides, and importantly, the heal 1 to all other allies, pain, vitality, and self-shield. So I won't even take damage in order to do that. I'm going to do the Vampire, and honestly, this is just slightly still having a bit of a hangover from having played the Scrapper so much back when they had a charged side. Now they don't have a charged side. They are they're fundamentally not the same character. They have way more HP. They don't have the charge side. I mean, it's night and day. Maybe next time, Scrapper. We're going with the vampire now. Do I want to try and lock another 1-mana thing to be able to smith? Honestly, probably not. But I'm going to see if... Oh my god. Oh, wow, that's the gosh combo. Okay, now we have 2 1s to activate before the triple, so we can triple the armorer. And then the armorer can hit an AoE effect here on the scoundrel. That's so huge. All right, so let's do this correctly. Defend the student. Strike with the fighter. And then Bones and Wolf both go down and the Alpha just takes decent damage. And then we throw some extra damage against the... Oh my god, what an opening! That's what I like the triple for, baby! Alright. I'll take the fidget spinner there. Thank you very much. Fighter for 2 damage. Good enough too. Nice. I'm going to smith the AoE effect on the Scoundrel again, give you the ability to activate that 2 times. A slice and then a single strike takes out the Alpha on the top line before they summon, and then the Wolf runs away. Viscera and Pillow. Oh, this is actually really good! Viscera, replace the middle side with 0 damage. Flesh, bonus equal to your current HP, and pain, you take 0 damage. Our middle side, you may recall, also has the keyword self shield, so it just completely wipes out the pain here and just does damage equal to your max HP. So that's, 11 damage on the armorer. Huge. That just ends fights for us right now. Spiky! Oh no! All hero-sized enemies such as Wolf get 1 spiky. Oh no, monster left. All monsters get +1 to their leftmost side. Honestly, the leftmost side is very seldom that much of a problem. No! No, of course, the blessing doesn't apply. Or rather, the blessing applies earlier than the application of Viscera here, so we'll actually still have to find a way to make Viscera useful. Ah, dang. I don't think we can do so right now, but we'll keep looking for opportunities in the future. Maybe earn? So, vulnerability on that target, 2 damage, 3 damage. So, if I drop the armorer, what I'm looking for is any ability to deal damage to the crone now. That'll do it. Literally any ability was going to be right. I'm pretty sure. Vulnerability. Oh no, I miscounted this, didn't I? Yeah, we did. You know what? It's okay. I'm just going to work my way through both of them. I don't have to make them disappear on the first round here. In fact, that's already splitting amongst it lethal. Take out the bandit, and Sinew and Jester show up instead. So the Jester does have the ability to give themselves the cantrip self shield still. Still love that. Flick is still a really good spell. We get a little bit more AoE on the field with the fighter. I was asking for a single large damage dealing character, and while Sinew is not going to be consistent in dealing that damage, they will be able to deal that damage in the first place, at the absolute least. I do like the cantrip setting up for the armorer's triple. And Flick is a really, really good spell in this fight. I'm gonna take it. I wonder if anyone does want to risk their life to take out the chest early here. Probably not. Oh boy. Harsh low roll. 2 damage on the fighter at the absolute least, pretty much everyone else got bad sides again? Oh no. I'm gonna give some max mana to everyone on the board. Sorry, max HP to everyone on the board. Smithing the side. Hang on, why did Smith work on that? Smith says, +1 to damage and shield sides this turn. Heal 2 to all other allies. I guess because it's a self-shield side, it counts as a shield side, so it can still get amplified. Which, if that's the case, neat. So that chest is about to run away, and then if I finish off the barrel in the next round, it'll kill the 2 courts on either side of it. Like, honestly, we were never gonna really die to this fight. It's just, did I need to get the chest? Or could I have gotten the chest if I acted in any different fashion? I'm not so certain I could have. Oh, wow. The weakness across the party here is really, really handling us. Well, thank you for not weakening those 2 targets at the absolute least, but the Jester will die if they roll the... Oh, no, wait, they won't! Oh, they've just got single use rather than inflict pain. Thank you. Okay, that's already enough. The 2 damage takes out that barrel, and then a flick, and the 3 damage takes out the next course. Monocle and Updog. Monocle for add engage to the middle side. So 2 times the effect on targets that have full HP. The Vampire is, I mean, we're never really going to be doing this defensively. It would cost extra setup in order to do this defensively. How about Updog? Overdog to the top target, ×2 if we have more HP than the target. I don't like either of these. I'm taking a random 6? Oh, so I am! Scales! Set the value of your rightmost side to the maximum of your other value sides. So now, I don't need triple anymore. I just make it 4. Beautiful. I guess I can set up the possible triple on this. I can even set up the possible triple on this, but I don't have, you know, 2 other 4 sides that I'm going to be using earlier. So that's just never even going to occur in the first place. You know, a funny thing about this actually is, if I did Viscera first, I could... Does that not propagate across? The value of the rightmost side of the maximum of your other side's value. So the value of the rightmost side to the maximum of your other side's values. Huh. I would have assumed it would have set to the 9 here, but I guess flesh is like determined consistently at runtime rather than like a set value at any point. So maybe it doesn't have the ability to compare against that. It makes sense because, you know, the scales are like a set that occurs outside of fight, right? It doesn't then change over the course of updating dynamically in the middle of the fight if the middle side happens to change, whereas this middle side will change all the time. This will be good. I'm gonna push. I don't want to push too far. Armorer. Honestly, that is probably a worse side right now, though. It feels like everyone has most sides that aren't useful for them, or most of their sides aren't useful for them, rather. Yeah, like the fighter is just going down right now. I mean, it's amplified by the fact that my other damage dealer only has 2 sides that they can actually actively use at any point. Anyone else that has the ability to contribute into the fights is contributing in very dense little packages like this. Let's go about that Takelin, and then there's just a War Chief we can have to deal with in the next round. Come on. That'll do. Thank you for the damage. Juggler and Collector? Aha, Collector. This is a perfect opportunity for us to... Wait. Did this not count as picking the Collector for the second time? Focus triple is pretty cool, though. Did that not count? Hang on. Yeah, choose collector twice. Oh, wow. That must have been my first pick of collector. Oof. Oh, I just realized what went wrong there. Okay. Collector, you don't need to use a ranged attack like that, but also most of your other things are going to be better with the armorer's combination here. I mean, the vampire can also do pretty well here if you fail. I was really hoping to get the duplicate side, the one in the in the middle, because it would be able to propagate across to everyone else. Honestly, the worst possible space. Okay, I'm gonna go for 5 vulnerability on the bell. Setting up for the ability to just throw instances of damage at them. If we accept the collector dying here, we can take out the boss in the first round. I like that. I'm going to take both of these just because they are safe confirmation that everyone gets through to the next round if they want to here. Burst, and that kills the top line, and then we keep the scoundrel alive, baby. Couldn't have worked out better. Blood amulet. Ooh, we need that. Do we? So blood amulet would offset the effect of viscera. It would put self-heal on the side that also has pain. Glyph of Purity adds cleanse to the top and bottom sides. Cleanse in AoE is not bad. Cleave cleanse. But it's still not really the side you're hoping for ever on the armorer. I'm going to take the blood amulet here. Sandstorm at the end of every third turn, deal 1 damage to all allies, or skulk during the third turn, +1 to all enemy sides. I think this could be more problematic against bosses, whereas this is probably going to always be kind of okay. Then if I put Viscera and Blood Amulet on the same person, hey, now I have a 6 damage side that does something on the Scoundrel finally. We haven't got more sides on them, we've just got denser sides on them. Exactly what we didn't need. That vulnerability setup's pretty cool though. Ooh, baby. Ooh, good dodge as well. I like this. Let's just take a comfortable early turn. So this is... oh, I can't activate the triple on the Collector unless I don't want to utilize the Shield Smith on anyone else. So I'm going to get everyone to get ridiculous HP for the course of this entire fight. And then I can take one target off the field instantly. Let's take off one of the bones. I love that I can just give the whole party a bunch of HP there. Honestly, I don't think we're going further into this fight, so the Collector, you can use your exert side. There's not going to be another turn. Cool. So unfortunately, it looks like it's only the direct damage that's amplified by vulnerable, which I could have known, but I just wanted to quickly test instead of thinking. Goodbye, Imp, and hello to level 20. Ranger versus Trapper here as our upgrades. I mean, I do need some ranged abilities. I do need some more dense damage as well. I need more targets that are viable for smithing, so range cleave, pretty good for that. The Trapper having the ability to instantaneously kill chests and slates and graves and all of those kinds of things that have tough as a complication. It's big, but I don't think it's big enough to void the efforts towards the Ranger here. Two snipers and 2 graves? Armor does have the ability to give 4 block to someone else, but even if they're not, like, when they're giving 4 block to everyone else, but they're not getting any block back that they need, suddenly it feels low value, despite the fact that it is still a 4 shield. It's still good. It's still big. It's still powerful. I should do it. I'm going to give the Collector their range attack because it makes it much easier to take out one of the snipers with the support of the Ranger. Ooh, thank you for the reroll, Jester. Much appreciated. Ooh, incredibly well done. Let's keep everyone ridiculously healthy here. I definitely don't need all of that damage on the Ranger, but it's cool as hell that I have access to it. Some mana from the Vampire, that's cool. Some damage from the Collector, also cool. I'm not doing this as efficiently as possibly can be done. But we are so far ahead of the enemy that thinking about the most efficient turn in that instance, rather than just accepting that, yes, I could come up with the most efficient turn if I needed to, but don't need to. Tourmaline Priber, as well as the Spell Charge. Spell Charge is nice. I mean, you know, we've seen the value that that can have across our entire party. In fact, we've curated our party for it to have value because we've already taken the Armorer. But Tourmaline Priber, that works really, really well with the right upgrades. It is Error to all mana/mana gain sides. I'm going to be taking it. I ultimately don't want it to stay on the Jester for long. I want to upgrade past the Jester really quickly in a direction that takes advantage of the Tourmaline. Just surviving this turn is already dealing 8 damage to the Fanatic on the top line. Keeping that in mind, what can I do? None of this is really enthusing me. I would like to defend with the Armorer especially. That's technically defensive. In fact, so is that. Let's push one more time. And again. Oh my god, the mana! Ooh, baby, I really wasn't expecting it to work that well. Okay. So I was initially thinking about doing the AoE effect like that. Is this best? It probably is. We just get to double dip on the damage bonus rather than giving it to the Collector, who's then capable of fully defending themselves, but they don't need that much HP. They really don't in this fight. Let's flick the Spiker first off. And oh my god, in fact, we can literally end the fight. There we go. Eccentric and the Poet. I mean, Eccentric is going to be able to benefit from a lot of things that other characters wouldn't, by virtue of having blank spaces where other characters have some of their most important things, and some of their most important things where other characters have blank spaces. 4 damage is also a very important number to hit. 4 damage descend even more so. It's up against the Poet here. Unfortunately, the Poet would be overriding our smithing. The Poet would be very well capable of self-shielding for a large degree. What about this Collector? What can I do with you? With any of my other items, do those help you? Not in particular. No one's going to be able to hold the scales particularly effectively here. I guess, like, you know, the Collector, and then having the triple on the side of a 1-pip shield cantrip. I mean, sometimes it'll double activate. That's kind of cool, I guess. It's the right choice. I just don't like it. It's the right choice, but I'm a baby. Alright. I'll That'll have to do. Not against the Lich, and 4 bones immediately spawned. Oh! Hang on. Okay, so it's set up to triple, but it hasn't tripled yet. It just looks like it's ready to do it. Nice. I don't really need the focus attack from the Collector, but it is a 3 damage attack that doesn't exert. Honestly? Yeah, worth. Hey! We did actually manage to get the triple cantrip out of the poet there. Neat. Let's go again. And 1 more for the Jester. Cool. So if I focus on one of these targets directly next to the Lich, the next one will then lose enough HP to be targeted by the focus here. Actually, if I also flick on the top line, I can get even closer to this kill earlier. Yeah, this is still the most resource efficient. And, in fact, we prevent everyone from taking any damage this round. Well, everyone on our team. The enemies, not so lucky. Vampire and the Collector both form the ability to kill a target by themselves right now. I don't want to push them too hard. Neither, well, I mean, the Vampire especially doesn't have many significantly better damage size than that. There goes one of them. We can also do a little bit of AoE attack afterwards. Yeah, pretty hugely underwhelming turn there. Gonna need more mana from our Jester. Ooh, Ranger, that's a good strike. Instant takedown of a target. Vampire, love that mana too on you. Collector, I really don't want you to have to exert, because we will be here for longer. There we go. Okay, the repetition's good to see, and Jester manages to roll nothing the entire round, unfortunately. Okay, we need to prevent the Poet from taking at least one of the instances of damage that's incoming to them. Shouldn't be difficult. Let's go with... hang on. I've got access to Flick or Burst this turn. And the ability to repeat another ability as well if I need it. So if I repeat that, then I just have the ability to kill another one of the bones instantly. And then it's just finish off the other 2 individually, also triggering the spawn of more bones. Guess we prevent incoming damage against the Poet. And it only spawns 1 bones now. I think it used to spawn 2 bones at the same time whenever you finish the living skeleton there. Oh, thank you, Jester, for finally giving us the mana. I've been looking for this for so long. So very long. Oh, the AoEs are online. The AoEs have logged in. Actually, hang on. Let's make sure that we flick one of those targets first, just to start the cascade. Defend the Jester a little bit. 2 bursts on the bottom line, and a single on the top. And you know what? I'm even going to start setting up on the next one, because we only retain 1 mana between turns. Duplicate the self-shield side through. I mean, I'm not going to be able to buff that in any significant way, so we keep pushing. Range is good enough. That heal is actually good enough right now. It keeps the Ranger alive. Two bursts against the Lich will summon a Bones, which I will then flick before the very end of the round, and then we only have 6 HP to work through. Easy. Well done. In fact, this has got to be the kill already, right? Yeah. Take down the Bones and finish off the Lich. Cocoon. Add error and -1 to all sides. So on the first turn, it'll be worse. On the second turn, it'll be the same. On the third turn afterwards, it will be incredible. Oh, I mean the Poet? The Poet is kind of very useful on the first turn for the shield 2 across the entire party effects. By the third turn, the Poet is probably already dying, and a lot of our party is probably already dying from lack of Poet. Error to all sides would also give even more cantrips. Eventually at some point. There's also Burning Halo. +1 damage to all enemies whenever you save a hero. I kind of want to put that on the Poet instead. Let's just take it. And XYZ, +2 max mana for each X, Y, and or Z in the enemy's names. And ID4 is replace the right side with 1 self-damage cantrip. Oh! Random tier 1 curse. I'm taking the extra max HP. I can definitely see how this is all growing in the background here, and at some point will kill me. But hey, that's how endless modes work. My goal was just to have fun until then. Vampire, getting a little bit of HP on you would be really nice. Even more mana from our Jester, good to see. Okay, good. We did manage to get back to the Poet being able to self-defend here. That self-defense dealing 1 damage to all enemies, so we should try and make sure that we flick a target that we want to flick first. In fact, the way that we do this is going to be Vampire attacks the Ghost, Collector follows up with a focus attack enough to kill that Ghost, preventing it from becoming invulnerable at any period of time. We then... Oh, but if we do that, then the Poet is not going to... Oh! Oh boy. Actually, no, we can do that in a different way. So here's how we do it differently. It's flick the snake, stab the snake. Poet defends self to kill the snake. Ranger sets up the focus on the Ghost. And I'm only allowed to keep 1 mana, so I need to exert that somewhere. Perfect. Good enough damage. That can't get amplified, unfortunately. That can try and save people. Which doesn't do any damage to these enemies, actually. There we go. Wait, hang on, it does? So it bypasses the enemy's shield. 1 damage to all enemies whenever you save a hero. Reduce damage taken from spells and dice by 1. Yeah. It's damage from an item. It's different. Neat. Let's finish off the remaining 2. Curse Mastery. Win a fight with 7 curses. We've unlocked a monster, Jinx. Random curse. A random tier 2 or 3 curse. They can inflict that, I imagine, when you hit the wrong part of their HP bar. 2 damage to all enemies, summon 2 bones, 3 cleave. Yeah, you are tough, buddy. Ooh. We're up against upgrades here. Right, sorry, we're up against the Troll and the Spiker, but the upgrades here are the Ghast and the Fencer. Ghast for the ability to kill an enemy with exactly 1 HP for +3 mana on cooldown. Fencer has a little bit of AoE themselves. Also Pristine Side. The Pristine Side of the Fencer is much less valuable in my mind. Just because the Fencer is not often on the full HP to be able to utilize it. I almost don't want to upgrade the Fencer, but I definitely don't want to upgrade the Jester. Into the Ghast, at least. I'm going to take the Fencer. I still need the damage it proposes. I guess I just have to heal it in some way if I really want to get the best effect out of the Pristine Side. I'm going to keep the 7 damage side on the fencer as well. Just feel a lot more comfortable having it than not, especially in fights like this. It's about half the HP bar of that troll. Ooh, there's that flesh side. Okay. How much extra damage can I pump this round? Oh, that's enough to kill the troll. Just betwixt the two of you. Jester, I will take the paltry extra mana you have offered here. Okay. Fencer. There goes the troll. Taking him out. Perfect. And the Spiker takes excess damage there. The Fencer even manages to survive. Oh my god. All of these are perfect. I guess except for the last defensive side. Well, actually, keeps the Jester alive while they strike the Spiker a couple times. Iron Crown cannot give that to the Poet whatsoever. +4 to their leftmost side. Their leftmost side is nothing. Bullseye adds engage to the middle column, ×2 to targets on full HP. Oh, I mean, the Poet defending for double with a charged? Targets aren't on full HP on my side is the thing. I'm going to take Bullseye for the engagement, and I'm losing Viscera at this point, unfortunately. However... Wait, you're telling me that I can't get engage on the 1 damage to all enemies? I guess because it doesn't target enemies at all? I just assumed it would have done the effect to the enemies that had max HP. Well then. Is there something better? Yeah, it can't even put engage on shield 2 to all allies either. I had to assume that was going to be the case, obviously, with similar triggering conditions there. The upgrade of the yellow character is probably going to be guided a little bit by what it can do with the Bullseye. Being able to double-use engage open fights is really good. It's very powerful. It's just, you know, it could be something else instead. Focus can be really good for finishing a ghost very quickly. Let's have a look at our different options here. I don't think ultimately I'm going to be locking the Fencer's side, but if I did take these sides, I would have the ability here to kill 1 ghost. And then a flick, AoE, and defend a target on board doesn't give us the ability even to take out the sniper or anything like that? Okay. I mean, this isn't a great version of this turn, but I think if we drop the Fencer's pickup, we're basically as close to a good turn as we can get. Interesting. 3 directed damage from the Fencer change this? Probably not. I really need the Fencer to heal first if I'm doing anything with it. But is that possible? So, Vampire and Collector take a target out immediately. Then it would be defend the Vampire, and then infuse to get the ability to kill the ghosts on the top line with the pristine effect from the Fencer. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Both ghosts out on the first turn. Incredible. Overjoyed, even. Ranged attack to take out the sniper early. Love to see it. 4 damage from 2 engages is not anything to turn up nose at. I almost want to use my range attack on the demon here, and in fact will do so. Just to avoid their on-hit effects, and Leader and Weaver. Oh, Weaver. Leader and Weaver are 2 remaining options. We could get a mana side that itself is charged, so gives us extra mana equal to our current mana, as well as having 3 mana sides, a 3 mana self-shield, a 3 mana single use, and another. The ability to dodge enemy effects, crushing for 3 damage flanking for the top and the bottom of the enemy side. There's also the Leader with the ability to get a little bit more smithing back into our party. Honestly, I'm not really thrilled about the idea of taking the Leader here. They wouldn't even really be able to utilize the scales much at all. Alright, Weaver. Unwanted mana? You offer... Well, you don't really offer mana is the thing. You offer the ability to multiply the amount of mana that we have. You don't offer the ability to get the benefit of Tourmaline very early, though. Like, I want to be cantripping on turn 2, but that's only the Sorcerer? Am I seriously going to look for only the Sorcerer? What do I need from my Collector upgrade at this point? Do I desperately need anything from it? I mean, all of those being engaged sides would be pretty good. Sold. Now, there is a world as well with 8 damage flesh engaged times 2 on targets with full HP. So that would still deal 16 damage back to us. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Just had to make sure it wasn't going to be a good idea. If I lose the 3 of a kind here, I can instead scales max, just making shield 2 cantrip. So every time it's rolled, it does shield 2 rather than randomly occasionally doing shield 3. This also gives me the ability to put my Viscera back on the Fencer. Probably pretty good in this fight. As much as I do want AoE in this fight, I'm also going to need individual large shots. The Trantis. Ooh, nice repeat. Yeah, Fencer, just take the ability to take out 1 enemy on field. Another repeat. Okay, that's the ability to take out another enemy on field. So I guess my goal here is just remove all of the spiders. That's fine. We'll flick one of the spiders, attack it, and then attack, and then we get our W's back, and then attack, and attack, and then we get our W's back, and then attack, and attack, and then we... 2 damage, all of the targets off the field, just Tarantus. They summon 2 spiders this turn. All turns that are like that, where we objectively just come out on top, and even if we don't advance our actual goals against the boss, like Tarantus, or deal any damage or anything like that, they're all just building Tourmaline Paraiba charges. So we are just moving towards the area that the Jester just wins the fight. 2 damage duplicate self-shield engage does give any other character the ability to just kill a spider and defend themselves. Okay, I'm hoping for some mana here, if possible. Fencer, you would still like to be able to dodge if you can hit it. That's all the mana I was asking for. Let's see if we can get a good turn out of it, though. Actually, can I use slightly less mana this turn? Let's have a look. The problem is, if I defend the Fencer in order to save them from the incoming damage, I lose the ability to engage the enemies. But if I engage the enemies, I lose the ability to do anything otherwise afterwards. Yikes. Yeah, so the leader's side is actually unnecessary. Yeah, and kind of just confuses things at this point. I don't know if the shielding helped that much at all, though. Alright. We have our own 9 damage strike. We just get to throw it at an enemy. If I did this in a slightly better order, it would be a flick first? How well does that really work? I don't know, I don't think it really changes anything about the turn. Also, we're going to lose Tarantus. Or rather, we're going to lose the Fencer if I let them attack with this side. However, if they attack with that side before they get the shield, they'll be fine. Because they're destroying the shield and then trying to heal past HP that they obviously don't have space for. So if it's got a smaller effect, I should just use it to take out like a spider like that. I'm also going to infuse at the end of the turn, get everyone back to decent HP. Ugh, Tarantus, how dare you. Planning to hit us with a gigantic weaken and poison at the same time. Yeah, 3 damage, weaken, and poison. Fencer completely dodges the affair. Oh, beautiful. Leader, 3 damage to target is pretty good for you right now. Vampire, 2 damage to target is quite good for you too. But you would have the ability to defend against some incoming damage courtesy of Sandstorm, as well as prevent a death this turn. In doing so, dealing a damage to Tarantus. Two bursts, and now we wait. Again, another turn where the Paraiba is just getting stronger and stronger for us. Repeat an action. I really do just want dense damage if I can. That'll be the best. This is not the best side that we can hit here. I'm going to continue pushing with the Jester just a little bit because I can. And that's exactly why we do it. Specifically in this instance because I'm almost certainly just going to get a bunch more mana. Unfortunate, Fencer. So my reuse of Jester's side has given us 6 mana, which translates into 6 damage against the enemies. And the reuse on the Fencer side also would have been 6 damage, so it's the same either way. We're losing our topmost character no matter what happens here. Don't have the ability to prevent them from dying. But I can take out Tarantus immediately, just to show my displeasure with the situation. Poseidon's Charm adds cleave to the top and bottom sides. Oh my gosh. Cleaving on the shield charge sides from the poet? That's absolutely huge. It's also Mithril Shields, adds cantrip to all shield / self-shield sides. So that would be the poet just consistently using all of these, but the problem is it's less targeted. Could it be way better though? But I don't carry much mana into a turn, so the shield 2 charge is going to be relatively small in impact as well. I think I take the Poseidon's Charm. I think I need to just make sure that we are well shored up against large cleave attacks. Boss mold, at the start of boss levels, at the start of turn, shield 2 to all. Yeah. At the start of boss levels, at the start of the first turn, shield 2 to all enemies. We are more than happy to take our time. Gonna have to lose the scales, unfortunately. They're not really currently capable of modifying anything. We've still got 2 more characters that could theoretically use them at some point. They just don't yet. Alright. Yeah, this should be good. We've got the Fanatic as well as 2 Trolls in this next fight, so I think having the cleave on those giant defense is going to be a real benefit for us. Alright, leader, 6 damage against the target's pretty good. Anyone else push? There's a cleaving side. I would really like to be able to generate some mana this turn, though. Oh, it'd really help out. I'm gonna push my luck. Sorry, I meant I'm gonna push my luck. I can't believe it. I knocked the side that had mana on it over. I knocked the mana away. I'm not going to be able to take out the Fanatic in time, unfortunately. Which is only fair. Let's try and keep ourselves alive on the top line with the Fencer as well. Alright, there goes the leader. I didn't need to take that risk. Oh, but I did. I absolutely did. Here's hoping I'm not going to pay the price for it. A single infuse this round would obviously be incredible, but I can't do it with just 2 mana. Don't want to have to lock another person's actions for it. Poet definitely still has to continue re-rolling. I think everyone has to push at this point. Yep. Oh, couldn't go better than that. Fencer, do you want to get the ability to do like a... Oh, wow, dodge, neat. Well, before that occurs, let's defend all 3 of these characters, dealing 3 damage to all of the enemies on board. Beautiful. The Fencer on the top line is the person that has a pristine side, but the Jester is closer to dying. I guess if I also roll an infuse afterwards, I can get the Fencer and Jester both to significantly better positions here. Could have even used Flick for 2 damage against the Troll beforehand. That's fine, that's fine. That'll be okay. I'm only protecting 1 person from death this round, unfortunately. Ooh! Nice pristine side. Alright. Let's protect very effectively against death there. 1 troll remains. I'm gonna send a single burst out. 4 damage from our Fencer, locked in easily, and that's the mana for the rest of the kill. We got it. Goodbye, troll. Doctor and Warlock. Ah! The Warlock is not a particularly good upgrade here for us. As you may imagine, the Tourmaline Paraiba, unfortunately, is just going to increase our ability to deal pain to ourselves. And eventually it'll get to a prohibitive position where I don't have the ability to use the Warlock anymore. The Doctor, however, would have the ability to have the mana gain, self-shield, and heal 2 side, increasing in its effectiveness over the course of the entire fight. No, I'm taking the Warlock. I still need dense mana generation for the sake of the Poet's effect on the cleaving charged shields. So I'm just gonna have to work around that a little bit, unfortunately. Not very comfortable with this, though. What if Fencer lost both of theirs so that the Warlock could pick up a Bloodlust Errand self-heal, so they have the ability to kind of heal themselves intermittently between other actions? Yep, I think that's the right action. But I don't think it's the right action for this fight. I think it's the right action eventually, but I think in this fight, I need the ability to deal 7 damage upright to a core. Just taking them out instantly. Up against 3 cores and 3 wisps. huge side for the Poet, the Warlock, and the Vampire. We're going to be able to prevent the Warlock and Vampire's death this round, as well as deal 2 damage to all enemies at the same time. Honestly, if the leader rolls the smithing side, we can kill all wisps this round. That'd be cool as hell. You know what? That's probably good enough. I don't want to continue pushing here. The leader now has the ability to get 1 core to an inch of its life, or within an inch of its life. And then we kill it easily with a giant response there. 1 damage AoE. Burst, burst, burst. I mean, that actually ended up doing a lot more damage than I thought it was going to do. I must have miscalculated at some point there. Yeah, unfortunately I can't use the mana on the Warlock. This is exactly the position I'm trying to avoid, but thankfully it doesn't need to be avoided in this instance. Level 39, Whirlwind! Add cantrip to the middle column. Uh-oh. Cantrip to the middle column that's doing the shielding cleaving on the Poet, but again, hang on. It matters less on them. Who does want to hold this? Warlock would be hilarious if they could. Pentagram cannot be killed for the first 4 turns. Just... oh! That'd be so cool as well. I'm gonna take Whirlwind. Having cantrip on the middle column for hitting targets and self-healing, as well as giving some shield to the entire party, I think is pretty great here. I don't want to give it to the 2 damage duplicate self-shield engage side, because if that has cantrip, it will actually propagate literally every one of the 6 sides of every other one of my 4 characters to be that same side. So it just locks me into using that exclusively. Although, if it does that, all of the other ones will also have cantrip. Okay, let's give it a go then, actually. And again, yes, the scales are gonna go kind of underutilized here. Oh well. Okay, Poet has the ability to... oh, it's not Poet, it's the leader has the ability to reforce an action this round. I mean, I really don't want to do that if I can avoid it. I want to take out one of the Hydras this round, ideally. Poet, your cleave defense side is going to be the best way of accomplishing that. Warlock, that's one of your best ways of doing things. Fencer, honestly, I only want you to do a damage of, an instance of damage to each of the enemies here. Leader, I really want you to still have the possibility of hitting that cantrip side. I'm going to give you one more chance. Oh my god, you hit it. So now... every single character has every single side. 2 damage, duplicate, self-shield, engage, and cantrip. Reroll. Yeah! Oh, Hexia. Oh, Hexia. Why did it have to be Hexia? Fate. Fate is a good target for the Tourmaline Pariah. It increases the side of their heal and shield and mana gain sides. They also have access to heal to spell rescue. Not a particularly good spell in this fight, unfortunately. Surgeon has the ability to revive the topmost defeated ally with deplete as well. I think I need to take the fates here and then just work Hexia down as quickly as I possibly can. Use some shielding before I use large burn effects. It'll work out. Alright, Tourmaline now goes on Fate, definitely. Unfortunately, Scales and 3 of a kind each incapable of being utilized in this fight effectively. Cantrip in the middle column, absolutely not. Do I want to get away from the Flesh Pain self-heal side on the Fencer there? Yeah, a little. Okay. I think that's all set. Oh, Hexia! I've got a story for you. Oh, baby. These are each and all huge impacts so far. Fate, could you really just keep up with everyone right now? Oh my god, you absolutely can. Let's defend and heal the Warlock. We now have access to Blaze. I'm going to... Wait, hang on. I'm going to have the leader smith themselves. And then the Fencer. Propagating a 5 damage hit across them. I'm just short. I really thought that I was going to be able to hit everyone with just the giant AoE here. Oh, no, wait, hang on. No, this does work. It's just I have to repeat the Fencer's action. There we go. Then we just have the leader and the poet yet dying. If I use a single strand, I save the poet. If I use another strand, I could try and save the leader, but I will lose the warlock for having done so. Unfortunately, the leader is also currently having inflicted on them inflict pain, which means if they hit any of their cantrip spaces in the next round, they will immediately die. So if I heal them like that, no, they're still going to immediately die. Single big blaze against Hexia. We lose those 2 characters, then we have to continue forcing damage against Hexia. Gosh, is that the right choice? Oh, this doesn't feel correct. This doesn't feel correct. The removal of all of the chumps from the field, I think, is the most efficient we're going to get. Most efficient action will be offered. The poet, again, also has cantrip sides and also will just die. Like, the Hexia is targeting only the 2 people on field that have cantrip sides that will kill them. Yeah, it's going straight for it. Nice. A little bit slower, gives us a period here to summon. Fate, that's the ability to generate mana, but I wouldn't have the ability to utilize it this turn. I need you to be able to heal and defend the Warlock. That's ultimately going to kill us, I think. What I needed here was for the Fates to have the ability to heal and shield the Warlock, so literally either of these 2 sides would have been fine, so the Warlock was capable of generating more mana this turn, as well as staying alive after generating that mana, because if it had the ability to do that, by definition, I would have had 6, which is enough to use the Blaze against the target. But right now, unfortunately, I can't even use this, lest I lose my Warlock instantly. I can't attack again, lest I also lose my Warlock instantly, so I just give the enemy a turn worth of summoning a demon there. Oh, Fate. I mean, look, you're trying to make it up to me with the best side possible, and I do appreciate it, but is it gonna work? Oh, I don't even think it can. Just one more time. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Unfortunately, past this point, I don't think there's any version of this that can keep us alive with Hexia still being able to deal that damage consistently. Like, I can strand, and then we will lose the Warlock. And in fact, I guess I should then send 2 bursts out against the target as well. Yeah, really, really narrow chance with the line that I took there for the Fate to actually be able to save us. But with the 2 cantrip with the 2 cantrip classes specifically, also the 2 defensive classes, being locked in that first turn, towards the effect of taking out all of the enemy summons on the field made it really, really difficult for them to be able to generate enough defense for themselves to not basically, most of the time at least, die to their own cantrips in the next round. Oh boy. I mean, if I hit every optimal side, could it work? 2, 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, this totally works. Well, heck to my belly aching. I'm going to continue this, noting that this episode is 2 hours long and I need to go eat dinner in the next episode. But until then, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slice and Dice. This continues to be our first Blursed Endless Run. There is a screen that is currently showing elements that I would read through quite quickly were I not deeply sweaty at the end of this time. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you next time.